Hey guys, it's Slater here, and for my project, I chose the Vault Smokehouse, which is a Texas barbecue restaurant located in Waxahachie, Texas. And for those of you who don't know where that is, it's a little bit southwest of Dallas, a little bit more south than anything. It's actually in a really cool area that I happen to be traveling through on my spring break trip. So it worked out really well, and I'm going to include an image of where that is just so we can have some reference points. Now, this place was outstanding. Everything I had was absolutely delicious. Just from looking at the amount of people that were there, they're always going to be busy. Unlike some really popular barbecue places, they're not like just open on Saturdays, because you know how some places are just open like 1 or 2 days a week and they sell out by noon. So they definitely had enough supply to meet the demand. And there were a couple other barbecue places in the area, but this one was by far the highest rated, and you could tell it was the most frequented. We all know about the different kinds of regional barbecue. There's so many. And last time I talked about Carolina barbecue, but Texas barbecue is just a little different. So we specialize in brisket. That's usually our signature, and then we have a bunch of pork items. Now, the Vault obviously had all of these things, and you could tell that their main selling item was their brisket, which of course I tried. Now, another thing that Texas barbecue is known for is their abundance of sides. So just to name a few, we got okra, beans, mashed potatoes, green beans, collard greens, hush puppies, creamed corn, and mac and cheese. And this is just a few of them, so we are not without our sides. Now that we've kind of talked about the main dishes, I want to talk about the sauce. So it's a tomato-based sauce, and it's really light, but it packs a punch. It's full of flavor. It obviously has the tomato base, but it also has spices, celery, onions, and garlic. So it has a good mix, and it's known to be incorporate drippings from meat to pack the extra flavor in it. The last thing I want to talk about as far as what we serve in Texas is actually a dessert. So I found out that banana pudding is actually a very unique dessert for barbecue places in Texas, and they did in fact have it at the Vault. We all know that Texas has been known for oil and ranching. So the history of Texas plays into why barbecue is so big in this state. There's always been cattle around, always been pigs and stuff like that. So we've always had an abundance of animals and ability to make barbecue. Along with Texas' history of ranching, we also have to look at the historical aspect of where it started. So Central Texas, which is the closest area to where the Vault is located, there was a heavy Czech and German influence historically, and they used to smoke their leftover meats at a low temperature for a long time, and they ended up starting to sell it, and it became really popular, and that's kind of where the origins of Texas barbecue came from in Central Texas. Now that we've had some discussion on what Texas barbecue is, as well as a very brief history of it, let's get into my actual experience at the Vault. Now, I've talked a lot about their menu, or just Texas barbecue menu in general, so I'm going to include a picture of that right now. It's a beautiful spring day in Waxahachie, and I am out here at the Vault Smokehouse, one of the better known local joints. I elected to get the 3-meat 2-side plate with sliced brisket, sausage, and chicken, and I got it with potato salad and coleslaw. Here we have a very simplistic plating, very delicious looking. Everything looks moist. And interestingly enough, something I learned in my research is that the plating of Texas barbecue is actually very unique as well. The way it's all just kind of thrown out on a plate, not necessarily thrown, but it's all just simply put on a plate, nothing too special. I will say, everything is a 10 out of 10. And the chicken is certainly not last place chicken. And for dessert, I'm being forced to eat banana pudding. Let's see how it is. I had actually never had banana pudding before, but since it is a Texas barbecue classic, I had to try it. And it was very good, actually. I was very impressed. right next to the barbecue place, actually, they have their very own gift shop where they have their own recipes for seasonings and sauces and all kinds of stuff. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
I was hoping to ask you a few questions about the Vault Barbecue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, where do you live? Are you a local? Do you live around here?
I think I would call myself a local. I live about 20 minutes from here in a town called Maypearl. But if I ever want to eat or, like go shopping or anything, I come to Waxahachie.
So, how often do you end up getting around to the Vault?
Probably more often than I should. I usually end up coming in like a few times a month, maybe 2 or 3.
So, obviously you like this place because you're here a lot, but how does it stack up against other barbecue places in the area?
It's definitely a lot better than the other places, and you can tell because this one is more frequented, which eventually caused the others to shut down.
So, do you know who the pitmaster is and who cooks?
I know the owners. They are leaders of a local church, and the pitmaster is their 16-year-old son, and he cooks everything.
So, I actually heard about that, the pitmaster being only 16. That's actually part of the reason why I chose to do it. So, other than that fact, is there anything else that makes the Vault unique?
I think that the location is pretty unique. It's on the square of Waxahachie downtown, and it's in a beautiful historic building. But I would have to say that the most unique thing is probably the 16-year-old pitmaster.
So, is there anything you would like to tell the owners of the Vault that they could be doing differently to make it even better?
I think that I would say they don't have sweet tea, which is pretty traumatic.
That's a bummer. Well, thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
I will say it was a lot of fun getting out and trying barbecue and meeting some local residents. I hope you guys enjoyed and go eat some barbecue.